What's up, Raiders? TristenWulf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I'm going to talk about another starter hero, Sigmund the Highshield. Now, you can get Sigmund the Highshield by going over to the promo code section, and in your first 24 hours of gameplay, you enter mid-game top. Don't ask me why it's mid-game top. I have no idea where this phrase came from, but if you enter mid-game top, you will start the game out with Sigmund the Highshield. And if you are just starting the game out, before you think about promo codes, you need the link in the description of this video, or use that QR code at the top of the screen, because in doing that, you will get for free at the start of the game a legendary hero. That's right, you'll get a Lenorol, legendary hero. A Lenorol has a powerful kit with an HP burn on her A1 skill, making it one of, if not the best A1 skills, I think, in the game for doing damage against bosses. And you also will have a boatload of poisons on this unit and the ability to detonate poisons to do a tremendous amount of damage. So she's a solid hero to help you out in some campaign boss fights. And when you get to level 15, you will unlock Rector Drath. Now, level 15 may sound a ways away, but it's not. It'll take you probably less than an hour to grind up to level 15, and then Rector Drath drops into your inbox, and you pick up the strongest epic healer in the game, in my honest opinion. Her healing skills give perfect veil to the entire team or continuous healing, depending on what your allies need the most. Perfect veil is basically a stealth, making them untargetable, and continuous healing, well, I think you can figure that all out. Also, she has got the ability to raise a hero back from the dead with 60% of their health, and she stealths them for 3 turns, so they have plenty of time to get back on their feet and do their job. So what a perfect start to the game. A fantastic support hero and a boss hero. And with your starter unit, your 3-star rare unit, you probably have got damage taken care of. But one thing you may want to consider is Sigmund the Highshield. Under the indexes, you will find him as a Banner Lord. Right here he is. He is a defense type legendary hero, and defense is his power for your guys. If you are having trouble staying alive, if the bosses are just killing you off before you get a chance to really score good damage, Sigmund is key. So let's take a look at Sigmund's kit. We're going to start with his A1 skill. Sigmund's A1 skill, Farrier Flight. Attacks one enemy, so it's a single hitter, removes any shield buffs. So every time he attacks, he removes a shield buff. Not a chance of doing it, he just removes it. This is great against bosses that proc shields. This is great against PvP fights where you're dealing with somebody who spams shields. And in addition to stripping the shields, he also has a 50% chance of removing a random buff, and you can book that up to 75% chance. And he has a 75% chance instead when he's attacking bosses, up to 100% chance. So he will remove any shield from a boss, and he'll remove any buff from a boss, and he's got a pretty good chance of removing it in PvP too. So a pretty useful A1 skill, brings utility to your fight. Some of those shields can be really, really thick and hard to punch through. Let's move on to his A2 skill. His A2 skill, Battlefield Beacon. This attacks all enemies twice. This is one of the few attacks I've seen that is a multi-hitter that is a this is one of the few attacks I've seen that is a multi-hitter that is also AoE. So that's crazy. Not just 3 or 4 mobs, but all mobs twice. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing provoke. So that is 2 50% hits. And if you book it, it's a 75% chance. So that is 2 75% chances to provoke everybody on the enemy team for 1 turn. And on top of that, it has a 75% booked up to 100% chance of cutting the enemy's attack in half for 2 turns. So everybody, every single enemy is going to be focused on Sigmund, and they're going to be focused on him with half of their normal attack. So they're going to do minimal damage to this beefy bruiser unit, protecting the rest of your team so the rest of your team can do things. So we have gotten rid of shields, and we have provoked the team, and we have ruined their attack, totally controlled and locked down the enemy. Now, that's just his A1 and his A2. Let's check out his A3 skill. His A3 skill places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. So you run his HP up really, really high, and 30% of that will become a shield. Think about that, right? This guy right out of the gate has 20,000 HP. So you're already getting close to about a 7k shield for your entire team, and that's before you've even boosted this up any. So you can put a seriously strong shield, making your units very hard to kill. And on top of that, he gives a 25% strengthen buff on all allies through 2 turns, making your entire team hit harder and do more damage. This is basically saying, hey, everybody on my team, yeah, they are now significantly harder to kill, and they do 25% more damage, and all the enemies going to be focused on me, and all the enemies going to have half of his normal attack, and I'm going to strip shields and debuffs, and I'm going to strip shields and buffs from the enemy. Holy smokes. Do you see the utility behind this guy? And I have always been a popular proponent of DPS come and go, but support is forever. This is a unit I considered making my starting hero, and there are times when I really regret not doing it. I love my Monkey King, don't get me wrong, but I think someday I might start a new account just to try this guy out, just to see how good it is to have such a serious meat shield protecting my entire team. And speaking of meat shield, look at the detail on this shield. The amount of art and effort that are put into some of these heroes, the ornate details on his armor, the flask on his belts, down to his boots. He's a really well put together hero. I love the look of him. I even like the beard. In addition to all of this, he's got a passive. What's that passive do? Whenever this champion is attacked, has a 20% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn. A passive strip. Now it's only 20%. That's kind of low, but it is a 40% when he's attacked by a boss. So the enemy team is going to have a hard time keeping buffs, because remember, he's provoking everybody, and then they're all attacking him, and as they're attacking him, they're losing buffs. Now, I know these numbers look kind of low, 20% and 40%, but you got to realize it is a free passive. Every time he's attacked, and everyone's going to, I mean, all eyes are going to be on this guy. Everybody's going to be attacking this guy and losing their buffs for fun. As an aura, he gives a defense boost in the Doom Tower by 40%. And why that's important is the Scarab in the Doom Tower. If you are not wearing a shield, the Scarab will run you over. And that's actually an issue I have right now, is I don't have really good shield creating heroes to run through Scarab. This guy is built for it, so he will help you climb through Doom Tower through all levels. So much of Doom Tower is I've just got to keep my team alive long enough to dish out the damage, and Sigmund's going to let you take in more fragile units than you would normally be able to take. So give this guy a shot and see how he works out for you. I think he is a lovely addition to the team, especially if you've got a really good DPS unit start. Was he your first pick? Let me know in the comments section if Sigmund The Highshield was your legendary starting hero, because I'm very curious as to how he worked out from a new player standpoint. It's hard to not go for the DPS. I know it's hard to not go for the DPS units. You want to see him proc those big numbers, but all of the DPS promo heroes seem to be very, new through mid game. I'm not so sure how far they'll take you into the end game, whereas Sigmund, I think his kit just screams, I will work with anybody in this game, and you can use me early, mid, and late game. So I hope this guide has helped you out a little bit on your starting hero. It's just my opinion. Let me know what yours is. And remember, if you're starting out, make sure you use that link in the description of this video or scan that QR code. Start out raid with a legendary and an epic hero, and maybe Sigmund, for climbing through so much of this game has to offer. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care, Raiders.